Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And with the NBA season over, I'm going to do what I did once the NFL season came to an end, and that is name the best player in each franchise's history. I have the NFL ones in a playlist. You could check them out. I'll do them in alphabetical order. So today I'll be starting with the Atlanta Hawks. Inevitably, I'm sure for some of the teams like the Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers, where it's an obvious choice, I'll have people in the comments like, what's the point of the video? I get it, but I'm doing every team. Not all of them are easy choices. So, again, we're starting with the Atlanta Hawks. So, the Hawks started as the Tri-Cities Blackhawks, were them for 2 seasons from 1949-50, 50 to 51, were the Milwaukee Hawks for 4 seasons from 51-52 to 54-55, became the St. Louis Hawks from 1955-56 until the 67-68 season, and since the 1968-69 season have been known as the Atlanta Hawks. 75 seasons altogether, and they won one championship in St. Louis that came in 1958. So, 2 off seasons ago, I did my NBA Mount Rushmores by teams, where I attempted to name the 4 best players in each franchise's history. So, before I name the GOAT of the franchise, I like revisiting these, seeing if maybe I would make any changes in the 2 years since I last did them. So, alphabetical order by last name, I have Cliff Hagan, played for the Hawks for 10 seasons, made 5 All-Star teams. We have Lou Hudson, inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2022, made 6 straight All-Star games from 69 to 74. Bob Pettit played 11 seasons in the league, all with the Hawks, and was named an All-Star in every one of them. And the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins, played a total of 12 seasons, well, 11 and a half with the Hawks, was a scoring champ in the 85-86 season. So I don't think I would change anything about that. Maybe some might put Trae Young on now. I want to see a little more from him, and we'll see if he's on the Hawks entering next season. He's really had just one postseason run, but he's an honorable mention, as are Joe Johnson, Al Horford, Josh Smith, Dikembe Mutombo, Pete Maravich, Dan Roundfield, Kevin Willis, John Drew, Zelmo Beatty, and Lenny Wilkens, to name a few. So, who is my GOAT, the best player in Atlanta Hawks franchise history? That would have to be Bob Pettit. Still alive at 91 years old. Pettit was the second overall pick of the then Milwaukee Bucks in the 1954 NBA draft. Played 1 season with the Milwaukee Hawks. Played 1 season with the Milwaukee Hawks, and his final 10 seasons were with St. Louis. So never played for Atlanta, but still an historic figure in Hawks franchise history. In all 11 of his seasons, as I mentioned, was an All-Star, 2-time MVP in the 55-56 and 58-59 season, was a member of their one championship team. I mean, NBA Finals MVPs weren't given out back then, but I'm sure it would have went to Pettit if they did do so. Let's take a look at his season by season numbers via his basketball reference page. So, not only did he have 2 MVP wins, but he also finished runner up twice, third once, fourth 3 times, and sixth in his career. Made the first team All NBA each of his first 10 seasons, and then was a second team NBA in his final season in the league. Averaged more than 20 points per game every year of his career. Again, 2 scoring championships, both of them coming in his MVP seasons. Averaged 31.1 points in the 61-62 seasons. An outstanding rebounder, as evidenced by averaging no less than 12.4 rebounds in any season in his career, which was his final one. Total average of 16.2 for his career. Averaged more than 20 rebounds per game in the 60-61 season. All in all, averages at 26.4 points 10.3 rebounds, and 3 assists per game in his 792 career regular season games. Drew a ton of fouls throughout his career, averaged double digit free throw attempts per game, and had 7 different seasons averaging double digits in free throw attempts per game. Playoff career did well as well. As I mentioned, won a championship. 88 playoff games, averages of 25 and a half points, 14.8 rebounds, and 2.7 assists. Bob Pettit, player efficiency rating wasn't a thing back then, obviously, but they have it today. 4 straight seasons, he led the league in power from 55-56 to 58-59. The leader of the one championship team in franchise history, part of the 50 greatest players list in 1996-97 and the 75th anniversary team in 2021-22. Even with a relatively short career of 11 seasons. His 20,880 career points are 44th all time. He's 10th all time, averaging 26.4 points per game. His 12,849 career rebounds are 18th all time, and his 16.2 rebounds per game are third, only behind 2 legendary players in Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. So, my best player in franchise history, it has to be Bob Pettit. I feel like Bob Pettit's kind of one of the not forgotten guys, but less talked about superstar players from the early days of the NBA. We hear about Wilt, we hear about Russell, we hear about other guys as well, Cousy, even an Elgin Baylor. Bob Pettit, maybe not talked about as much, but one of the first real true superstars in league history. So let me know in the comments, do you agree Bob Pettit as the best player in Atlanta Hawks franchise history? Now, with all these, I'm going to take a look at the active roster and say whether any active players have a chance to overtake the GOAT, or at least maybe find their way in on the Mount Rushmore. I already mentioned Trae Young. Again, we will see if he remains with the team. But I figure with a couple more seasons and maybe at least a postseason berth or two, I could probably put him at least on the Mount Rushmore. Played 6 seasons now with the Hawks. Otherwise, DeJounte Murray's only played 2 years with the team and hasn't quite been all-star level. If a guy like Jalen Johnson can continue to improve, I mean, maybe he could at least be an honorable mention. But let me know your thoughts. Do you consider Trae Young a Mount Rushmore guy for the Atlanta Hawks? Again, I'm going to try to do these daily like I did for the NFL. So tomorrow will be the Boston Celtics, the now reigning NBA champions. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.